forward. The European markets have opened. They are in the red, but let's get a better sense of what the outlook over there is and what the key triggers that market participants in Europe will be looking forward to today. We've got James Hughes, who's a senior markets analyst at Alpari, who joins us on the phone line from London. James, what would the big trigger that Europe would be looking for today?
But I think obviously you can't look really past the non-farm payrolls. That's going to be the biggest story of the day. And I think we've been leading up to this for a while. Really, we've had pretty quiet markets. There's not necessarily been too much in the way for traders to really get their teeth into. And if you take out the fact that we've got the elections going on in Europe, local elections in the UK and the French election, and in Greece as well, they have been the major stories. But I think today what we do is we move back to a more market-focused story, and we look at this non-farm payroll and see exactly how the US economy is performing. Because of course the jobs report is always the biggest barometer in looking at how these countries are performing.
James, you also had the ECB, which left its key policy rates untouched at 1%, as was largely expected by most of the economists as well as the markets, and the ECB president stating that the economic outlook for the euro area is subject to downside risk. How would you react?
I think that's obviously not anything that we haven't heard before. I mean, if you've seen all the problems that are going on in the Eurozone, you can't then turn around and think that a comment saying that the subject of downside risk is too much of a surprise. So I think it was almost, from the ECB president there, a little bit of stating the obvious. But I mean, I think that is the case, and I think the whole world of the markets are subject to this at the moment. But I think what you find in the markets at the moment when it comes to Europe is that they've almost become numb to the European story, whereas markets used to move aggressively on any news from the ECB or any news on the Eurozone. Now you just don't see that kind of reaction.
James Hughes, many thanks for coming in on the show with your outlook for the European markets for today. We'll take a very quick break then on that note, but